Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. You are listening to the Marinda Show on Salam Media. Since the start of the lockdown, crisis management in education has focused on children and young people, but adult education is just as critical in times of crisis. Joining me right now is Miranda Clack, who is the executive marketer at Triple E Training, to tell us more about the impact of COVID-19 on adult education. Good morning, Miranda.
Morning. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for joining me. All right, so how has the lockdown impacted adult education and more so Triple E Training?
Um, I'm going to use a lot of Afrikaans words because sometimes it just says things a lot better. I think onderste bo, agterste voor. You know, the whole COVID thing. I think that it's the one time that nobody knows because nobody has ever experienced it. It's all new for all of us. So obviously in the Triple E world, all our training, I think in a couple of days, was stopped with immediate effect. Obviously for health and safety reasons, and the room sizes and how many people are in a room, and besides that the company probably also closed down for whatever period, the shutdown period. So all training was stopped. So we do ABIT or adult education on a national basis. So it means from Saldanha right through to Lepalele, everybody just came to a complete standstill. So we went through that phase. I mean, obviously, we're always concerned about our learners, what's going to happen now. And exactly like you've mentioned, is what's the impact on adult education. First of all, the guys entering into adult education, it's because they've somewhere missed out, or your English and your maths is not up to standard, and this is the way that you are fixing it. And now, while you want to fix it, you sort of already have a little bit of an added responsibility to get yourself fixed up. It stops. So we immediately went into, okay, so what are we going to do with our learners, and how are we going to get to them? So we started, everybody, where we had their telephone numbers, we started phoning them and we asked them, exactly like you guys are doing your platform now, what about WhatsApp? And it's so funny that most of our learners know WhatsApp, and they're fine. And we've started with WhatsApp classes and WhatsApp sessions. And I think although, you can't touch and you can't be with that person, but I think the seeing part and being interactive helped a lot. So we first piloted with a couple of our learners, and then we started contacting, as soon as people are going back to work, we started contacting them and say, how about restarting your training with a WhatsApp or a live coaching module, and how we go about it. And I must say, we were very, apprehensive. We thought this is never going to work, and it's been the best. The feedback from our students and how they are experiencing it, from us, a traditional face-to-face method, which we still do, and some people still prefer that. And I think eventually probably everybody will move back to that. The live coaching has just been a lifesaver, because we didn't want to have such a big break and the regression and a total restart of programs. So I think in some ways, I always, every day I look at what nice things COVID brought to us. What's the positives? And this is one of them. So we're very fortunate.
All right, that's amazing. Now, the focus has been a lot on child education and young adults, young people at university level. Do you think that a government has forgotten about adult education?
I always say maybe someday when I'm important enough, I would like to have conversations with Angie Motsecha and even with Mr. Blayton Zamande. Um, one of our latest studies now is 70% of grade fours cannot read with understanding. So even your guys that have, unfortunately, that have got grade 12, grade 11, when they enter the workplace, they are not literate. And their maths, because of a maths literacy option that people do take, the maths in the workplace or the maths for further studies, it's not the same. So unfortunately, our numbers are growing, and it's not getting less. The expectation of your organization on what level you must be able to communicate or write an email or write a report, people is just not on that level. So we've got the obviously historic sort of problem, with apartheid and poor education and limited education. We've got the age problem. Obviously, it's people think it's a lot the older generation. It's true, but not anymore. It is the young guys now as well. So, adult education is so important. I see on a daily basis where somebody is 100% competent in doing their job. For me to ask him, tell me, what do you do? They can't. And I think it's so unfair that a person absolutely can do their job, but they cannot talk about it, they can't communicate about it, they can't write about it. Because, and like I always say, and it's just that people can understand, stupid maths and English. Because it's something that's supposed to be in place. We think when somebody is born, they come out and say, "Good morning, ma'am, how are you?" It doesn't work like that. We have to use the language, and luckily for me, because I'm Afrikaans, and I've been with Tripoli for a long time, so for a long time people looked at me funny, and I realized, I've got an accent, and I'm going to and then you sort of calm down because it's the message and it's the communication. I am going to sound like I am. And the same with anybody else. The pronunciation is not going to be perfect. And I don't want it to be perfect because we South African English. That's what we must do. It's, do I understand you? And what is the next step and how are we going to move forward? And don't be shy. Sometimes it's more confidence than a competence problem. So I think government has got good initiatives in terms of, with the normal SETA, sector educational training authorities, in terms of grants and all of that. But, sometimes I think in 2020, people hoped that it's not my problem anymore. It is fixed, or it is, something of the past. It's not. Our literacy and numeracy levels are shocking. And we have to be aware, acknowledge, and then let's fix it. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean a person doesn't know how to build the wall. He can still build the wall. He just maybe doesn't know how many bricks. And that's the extent of it. It doesn't take away from anybody's skills. So, yes, Abbott is there. It's going to be there for a long time, unfortunately.
Oh, well, we need to start fixing the problems now before they become even worse. Now, tell us a little bit about the courses offered at Triple E Training.
We focus obviously on the ABIT side, AIT, like the new name is, without the B. It is traditionally, and according to all the SAQA, rules, it's grade 9 and below. So it's your 4 ABIT levels. It's about 2 years of school in each ABIT level, and it is your fundamentals, meaning English and maths. Triple E is also accredited for your NQF 2, 3, and 4, which is your grade 10, 11, and 12, English and maths, so that we can do the higher or upper levels, so that we can assist you in having access to higher education or even post grade 12 training, so that your English and maths is on the correct level to access that training. So those are mainly the two areas that we focus on. I would say about 70%, 80% of our business is still based on those two. And what I also can say, over and above government, the private sector, they've really committed to developing their people. So our clients are companies that wants to invest in their people, wanting to make it better. Somebody that's 50-year-old that knows the company from back to forth, but cannot write his name. That's the person that needs to be developed to become the supervisor, that becomes the manager, because he already understands the business and he loves his company. Let's fix the English and the maths.
Mm-hmm. And how has Triple E training qualifications helped the people that you've worked with?
I think there's they always say the touchy-feely side, and there's the academic side. So obviously, I would say unit standard qualification-wise, we have to train according certain curriculum and rules and give evidence and certification and all of that. So obviously, a person gets that qualifications, for every Abbott level or their certificate for that subject, and obviously they can move forward and improve themselves in the workplace. The softer side is, like I've said, confidence. People walk different, people dress different, people actually have opinions. They've always had them, they just didn't say it. I know some of my learners, maybe this is not a good example, but some of my learners have had disciplinary hearings because they've said something. And I thought, what? That's my training, at least. It's an opinion. That's what we want. So I see, on our LinkedIn page, there's so many posts now from learners to say, where are they now? What are they doing now? And it's sometimes, like I said, it's the confidence to walk into your manager's office to say, I can do this. Give me a chance. I want that opportunity. So sometimes it's small steps. We sort of at the bottom with our Abbott stuff, but it's sometimes just the most important.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of misconceptions about adult education, about adult learning. People say that if you are an adult learning, then there must have been something wrong with you as a child, or you're a slow learner, or you whatever. What are some of the misconceptions you've heard about, and how do you deal with it?
They're always there, and exactly like you say, it's either, you're a slow learner or something went wrong. And unfortunately, the race thing comes into it. They assume black people are illiterate and white people
Mm-hmm.
are literate. And I mean, everything is just so wrong. For me, it is not everybody can do everything at one or the other. I mean, it's like today. This is my first time on this platform. So I had to push the button and see, okay, how am I doing? I'm learning something today. If they asked me yesterday, I would have said, no, I don't know how to do it. One of my clients is actually one of the hospitals. And I said to them, because they were very nervous, I said to them, okay, I'll draw blood and then you can speak. And they said, no, you can't draw. I said, how do you know I can't draw blood? No, they know I can't. I said, you are right. I don't know how to draw blood. That's a skill I don't have. That
Mm-hmm.
lady knew how to draw blood and I know English. So let's swap. The things that they don't know is English, but they know a million other things. They can do a 18-wheeler truck, horse and trailer, and reverse it into a narrow space that I can't do with a car, obviously. But they can't write their name. It's just something that they don't know. So I think we've seen many times, once we get people into the classroom and sort of break down the walls and just get everybody to understand, it's okay. Uh, we cannot, many times when we have men in the class, I always ask them, can you bake a cake? And they said to me, no. I said, I can bake a cake. But and that's how we have to exchange skills, and we need to accept English is not necessarily something that you know, or maths, but it's something you can learn, it's something you can get better, because you're supposed to know English. When you walk into a store and you speak to somebody and they don't talk back to you, you assume incompetent, poor service, not interested, and maybe you spoke with an accent, or you spoke funny. I wanted to say Sant in English, so I'm going to say Sant in English. Um, uh, and that person didn't understand you. It is as simple as that. We are multi languages in our country. So we have to be sensitive. We have to talk slower, look at a person, and maybe it's an opportunity to teach somebody a new word, a new sentence. That's what it's all about.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. English is not supposed to be a means to measure intelligence. If somebody cannot speak English very well, just give them a chance, listen to what they have to say, and correct them as you go along the way. And also learn the language that they speak in, so that, it can be a two-way exchange of different
Exactly.
language, and each
Exactly.
one teach one. So quickly tell us, how can people get more information about Triple E training?
We've obviously got a website, www.eee.co.za. That is our obviously main platform. Obviously, we are on LinkedIn, so you can just search for us, Triple E Training, and it's the word triple and then E and then training. And our landline is 011 668 4300.
All right. So thank you so much for your time, Miranda. It has
It's a
been a
pleasure.
pleasure chatting to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That was Miranda Clack, the executive marketer at Triple E Training, and adult basic education service provider. And you heard for yourself, Miranda was giving us some tips on, or rather, was sharing with us how COVID-19 has impacted on adult education. But they have moved with the times and also adopted this new normal way of doing things, which is via platforms such as this. They have taken to WhatsApp to have their online classes, and it's business as usual. If you'd like to know more information about how to chat to, or how to be part of courses, or how to do any of the courses, if you are a company that wants to develop your employees, visit them. They are www.triple-e, that's E-E-E, .co.za, and you can give them a call on 011 668 4300, 011 668 4300, Triple E Training. When you are searching for it on LinkedIn, it is the word triple followed by the letter E followed by the word training. If you have any further comments, questions, queries, or suggestions, please leave them in the comments section. We are live on Facebook, or you can send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 01. I'm getting confused again. The number is 0617660355. And if you'd like to call me in studio, the number is 010-880-2396. You are listening to the Marinda Clack Show on Salam Media. We will be right back.